Okay, so some of you guys kind of wanted me to go a little bit more in depth of what I do with my face products. I'm putting on a little more cream right here. I slept in my makeup and so my face like kind of broke out. So yeah, that's what I get. That's what I get. But to go more in depth with my face routine, so that's what I'm going to do. So one of the first things I do is color correct, and I use the orange corrector because, and this isn't color correcting, like this is a liquid blush, but or cream blush, but I just use it because it's orange and you can still use it to correct. Um, but it's to correct any darkness. So for example, there's a little bit of darkness under my um, eye or any hyperpigmentation, which is really common in people who are dark skinned. And there are other colors you can use to fix like this type of thing. But orange is kind of like on the color theory wheel. You look at it, it cancels it out. So I'll blend out this side on camera so you guys can just kind of see. How it kind of brightens it up, evens out the skin tone. And then compared to this side, you still have like a little bit of darkness under here, which is fine. It's natural. But sometimes when you apply your makeup, you want it to like go on an even layer. But like it's one of those things that is just completely optional. But yeah, that's what I do. And then on Sundays, I'll do it around my mouth just to brighten up that area too. Okay, so then the next thing I do is I take this Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter. And one of you guys told me like sometimes you feel like after you put on your makeup, you kind of feel like you look a little bit dead. Well, underpainting with like liquid highlighters or something like this that has like a shimmer, well not a shimmer, but kind of a shine to it can help with that. So I'll just, this is, this little travel size thing was $15, y'all. But Elf has like, it's basically the exact same thing and it's $15 for like a bottle this big. So I'm pretty sure they sell it at Ulta or probably anywhere where they sell Elf. But you can just put it in any areas that you want to be brightened. And I'll blend this out on camera so you can see. I usually just use a brush, but you can use a sponge as well. And you can see it adds that glow here. So then when I apply stuff on top, it will really show. And with this specific product, you can apply it on top of your makeup or under your makeup or both. Sometimes I'll even put like a dot here just so like even like I have a little bit of glow coming from right here. So yeah, that's one of the ways that I help kind of like awaken my face a little bit. For my concealer, I use quite a few, but currently I'm using the NYX HD Studio Photogenic Concealer. And this is in the shade CW 7.5. And I would just put this on kind of like the middle part of my face because my face is like several different colors. So I try to accommodate for that without like kind of making my whole face one color because I feel like that would just make me lose a lot of the natural dimensions that I have to my face. But at the same time, you know, it's really up to you because makeup is just kind of whatever you want it to be for your personal preference. And yeah, and then this one doesn't dry down matte, it just dries down like with a natural radiance. That's the best way I can explain it. It just has a natural radiance. Like as you can see, as I blended that out, you can still see the glow peeking through, but at the same time, my natural skin, which I don't try to cover up blemishes either, I don't fool with that, but my natural skin, as you can see, like the natural finish to it is still peeking through. Like even from like the dewiness of my moisturizer that I used, it's still peeking through here because this isn't like matte finish, and sometimes matte can really like suck a lot of the life out of your face, especially if you kind of already have dry skin. Okay, and then the other concealer that I just started using more recently is the Fast Base Concealer by Revolution, and this one is in the shade C14. And I just use it on the bottom parts of my face. As you can see, this blends way better with the darker parts of my face. And also I like to do a little bit of contour because it's kind of the color of my natural shadows. So yeah, and then I'll blend this out so you guys can see. And this one also does not have a matte finish. It has a very, as you can see, natural skin-like finish. Blends like a dream. I mean, just that little bit, and it was super easy to blend. This contour doesn't look like dirt on my face. It just looks very natural. Because it's also the shade that you pick, you know, really matters. A lot of times you can make a lot of shades work with your skin tone, but at the same time, if the shade match is very close or your exact same skin tone, then it helps a lot with just being able to blend it in. And so yeah, so far right now my skin just has a very natural finish too. Now I'm gonna go with my Born This Way Multi-Sculpting Concealer. This is probably my favorite concealer. It's probably a tie between the NYX one and this one. And this one's in the shade Mocha. And what I do with this, because a little goes a long way, I just do 2 dots. And what this does is it brightens under my under eye. And I use a smaller brush for this, my concealer brush. And the same one I use for the color corrector. And I just kind of leave it under the under eye. And then I kind of tap it a little bit. Just into place. And as you can see, like, even though my under eye did have an orange hue from the corrector, it's no longer there, and it's blending beautifully into the NYX that I have placed down here. And again, it's just giving me a very nice skin-like finish. So then what I do just to make sure that I don't have any like streaks or anything is I go in with my sponge, and I just start from up here and work my way down just to make sure that everything's blended, and also to make sure that if there's any like excess products, because sometimes I can get a little too excited with some concealers, then it'll get the excess product, it'll absorb it, because you know these beauty sponges are legitimately sponges. Like once you add water to them, they explode. So yeah. So now I'm gonna talk about my powders, and I feel like this is the part where a lot of you guys get intimidated a little bit. This is definitely not necessary. Yesterday I went to a play and I like had a few minutes to get ready, and I literally just used 1 powder. Like, you don't have to use all 3 of these, but I just like to bring out like the golden undertones and the red undertones that I have in my skin. And I also like to brighten under my under eye because I don't want to look, you know, dead. So that's kind of would help a lot with this too. And a new thing that I've been doing is, well, I just started doing, is taking my pressed powder and a sponge. And I used to have another powder puff, but my mom stole it from me. And just go underneath my eyes here just to kind of set it before I apply my loose setting powder. And I tell you what, this makes your under eyes disappear. I'm gonna go in with my brush and just kind of blend that in a little bit. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with my loose setting powder, and this is the one that kind of matches the golden undertones under my eyes, and it's from Essence. Oh, there's kind of like lash glue right here. Sorry, but this is what it is. It goes through a lot because I use it a ton. And I just go under my eyes with a powder puff. There's actually quite a bit of powder on this powder puff. Let me see if I can distribute. And I just focus it right under the under eyes. And I just press this in. It's so smooth. It looks so good. It's just so satisfying. Like, I like to bring it all the way up. so my face looks like it's being pulled back. Okay, now I go in with my Maybelline loose setting powder.
Counting down.
And I'm running out of time. And this is it. Again, it's dirty because I use it all the time. And I go, this one, the instructions tell you to use a brush. I learned that the hard way. So I take a brush and just go over the lower half of my face. And you want to set your concealer because you don't want it to like rub off on a bunch of stuff. Not saying that this will make your makeup transfer proof, but it helps it stay like much longer than if you were to just kind of let it be willy-nilly. And this, I just like to kind of press it up here a little bit. I don't like makeup on my forehead a whole lot, and I just diffuse these lines, but I do want it to kind of blend together a little bit more. Now with the last part, I go in, and this part you don't have to do, but I like to just kind of set in my T-zone or in areas that get pretty oily. That's cricket. Or in areas that get pretty oily. So my nose, like whenever I start, like if I start sweating, my nose is the first thing. So I just like to put a little bit of this finishing powder around here. And I also use this powder to touch up with. And it's the HD Flawless Setting Powder. So yeah. And I just leave that there while I do my lips, which I'm not doing today because we're running out of time. Now we take our brush and we just brush it off. Now this blush palette is probably one of my favorites, and I'm gonna go in with this baby pink blush. And this also can bring a little bit of life to the face as well, because these blushes are kind of luminous. There's eyeliner on the back of my hand, so just ignore that. As you can see, they got a little bit of like, not glitter, but metallic in them. And if you just get one like this, or you can add a highlighter, it just adds so much to the face. I try to make sure they're placed somewhat evenly, but you know. And I also like to add a little bit to the nose, optional, and to the bridge of my nose. Okay, so I have this rose gold shade I'm gonna put on the inner corners. Just ignore the lash on this eye. That's all I'm gonna say. Final step that I think is really important is a setting spray. This is the Urban Decay All Nighter up to 16-hour wear lightweight setting spray. And it's vegan. Urban Decay is a vegan brand, so just so you're not like spraying random toxins on your face, you know what I mean? And also it's another way to bring back life to the face, because you can buy a matte version of this. It'll mattify your makeup, which is, I used to use the NYX version of that. NYX also has like one that is like a dewy finish, so you spray it and kind of gives you a dewy finish. This one I'm pretty sure is a matte finish. I'm not 100% sure, but I didn't see it on there, but I think it is. But since I already add so much like other glowy products, I don't feel like I need to really add in any dewiness or anything. But for example, like this one would give you like a dewy finish. So yeah, that's just how I do my face makeup. And just so I don't, you know, like you guys said, so I don't look dead, because you don't want it to seem like some of your features are gone. And I think for me, sorry, I'm doing my hair while I'm talking to y'all because I'm running late, but I think one of the things that really helps me make sure that I don't look dead is, since my face has so many different colors, I just try to work with that. I don't try to make my whole face like one color per se, so it all just kind of blends with the way my face naturally colors. which is really helpful when thinking about like doing your makeup, especially if you are someone that has multiple different skin tones. Then yeah, that's really helpful, and it takes a lot of stress out of finding like your perfect shades. Just find you some really good concealers that match the different shapes of the color shades of your face, and it's really all you need. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and have a nice day. Bye.